October being a Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Mater Misericordiae Hospital is having a free breast examination throughout the month at our main hospital and all our medical centers. Take this opportunity to have your breast examined and learn more about breast cancer, how to do breast self-examination, mammography, breast ultrasound, fine needle aspiration, treatment and side effects, recovery and renewal. Our mammogram, breast, ultrasound and pap smear charges have been drastically reduced through this month. Mammogram is at 2,500 Kenya shillings. Breast ultrasound is at 3,000 Kenya shillings. Pap smear is at 1,500 Kenya shillings. The schedule of screening centers will be as follows. Main Hospital, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10 a.m. Buruburu, Monday between 8 and 1 p.m. Development House, Tuesday between 8 and 12 noon. Karen, Monday to Friday between 8 and 12 noon. Westlands, Monday to Friday between 8 and 12 noon. Thika, Monday and Friday between 8 and 10 a.m. Kasarani, Tuesday and Wednesday between 8 and 10:30 a.m. Shujaa, Wednesday and Thursday between 8 and 12 noon. Did you know that women aged 30 years and above are at a higher risk of breast cancer and are encouraged to attend? Please share this information with your colleague, friends and relatives. Mater Hospital Breast Clinic runs every Wednesday between 9 and 11 a.m. Please contact us on 0732 163 132 or 0719 073 132 to book an appointment. Mater Misericordiae Hospital cares.
It is Friday, the 23rd of October 2020. Good morning and thank you very much for joining this live discussion. This being the International Infection Prevention Week, we bring you this live discussion as we try to put into perspective the subject infection prevention and control. And in studio with me today is Infection Prevention and Control Coordinator, Mater Misericordiae Hospital. Welcome on board.
Thank you very much.
Please tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Purity Runguma. I'm from Mater Hospital. I'm the Infection Control
Coordinator and Infection Control Preventionist. I have been in this post for the past few years and been practicing this infection control for the past a bit around 14 years. Well, I am versed in this able and noble cause, and here I'm very grateful to be in this discussion to share on what infection control entails.
Welcome, dear viewer, and feel free to leave your comment on our social media handles. Now, as we start off, Ms. Runguma, please tell us what infection prevention and control means.
Infection prevention and control are a set of practices that are designed to prevent or eliminate transmission of germs which cause infections or disease. There are quite a number of aspects on which we can relate to in regards to infection control. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what's the scope of infection prevention and control, or rather what aspects do we refer to when we talk of infection prevention and control?
Well, it's everybody's business in regards to prevention of infection, and in this regard we encourage each of us to be able to practice proper hand hygiene, to be able to dispose waste in a correct manner, proper handling of linen, probably infected linen from someone who's been infected with a disease, rational use of personal protective equipment, injection safety, care of invasives, rational use of antibiotics, that is by avoiding over-the-counter medication because you can predispose yourself to probably getting resistance when you're required to take the antibiotics. Monitoring and also being able to counteract hospital-acquired infections, surgical site infections, because when we do surgeries, people go home with fresh wounds. So we tend to teach people in regards to prevent infection so that they are able to heal faster. And also proper environmental cleaning and disinfection, and not forgetting respiratory hygiene and also cough etiquette in this wake of COVID. Thank you.
This year's International Infection Prevention Week theme is infection prevention is everybody's business. Yes. What does it mean?
Well, when we refer to infection prevention and control is everybody's business, it's just encouraging each and every one of us to come on board to fight infections. As we are all aware, we are predisposed to these infections, and it's just a noble cause for all of us to be involved in order to be able to curb and also prevent these infections. So the call to have infection prevention and control as everyone's business is just to bring everyone in the community also to be able to prevent these infections, and it's possible. If we continue as we have been taught by COVID, we will be at a better place.
All right, thank you. So as we are called by this theme to hop on board and help break the chain of infection spreading, what are some of the measures that we can consider or put in place to ensure that we achieve this?
Well, in hand hygiene as being the first line of infection prevention, we can make sure we always wash our hands with running water and soap. If that is not available, probably can use alcohol-based hand rubs, which is now readily available, and we are all aware that it is a necessity for all of us to use it. And also waste management. Well, we are encouraged to avoid littering by encouraging ourselves to reduce on the waste that we produce. This is by probably saving water and avoiding wastage of food. There's also reuse of this waste. We can actually reuse the paper that we have or reuse bottles in other aspects. Recycling can also encourage people to recycle, whereby waste at times can be treated and recycled to make cement. I've seen in other countries, hoping that Kenya we're going to also embrace the same. We can also repurpose, like for example, we can use waste to decorate. So it's basically by being able to also refuse, in the sense that like our government was able to say no use of polythene bag. That is a very good way of actually being able to reduce waste.
So as a team, what activities do you do to ensure that the public is aware of all these things and how best to execute them?
Throughout, and especially this week of infection control and in the World International Infection Prevention and Control Week, we have been actually partnering with even our clients and the community at large to be able to encourage them understand what infection control is about. We've been handing out brochures to take home to be in a position to actually refer, to reference, and be able to practice the good practices that are required of us. We encourage, we usually do audits and even ask the community at large, exactly like when they walk in, we are in a position to educate them on face-to-face and on also our social media platforms. We have put quite a number of information to just help people come on board and understand what infection prevention is about.
Thank you very much. We are at a time when the world has come together to fight a common enemy. This is a COVID-19 pandemic. Now, when we talk of COVID-19 pandemic, what do we mean in as far as infection control and prevention is concerned?
COVID-19 has come, I can say it has come to awaken all of us. And it is a good thing that now everybody is at par and understands that we require to fight infections. In this regard, COVID-19 I can say from where I sit, has a positive to it, because it has enabled us to wash our hands as we are required to. And hand hygiene is a major aspect. Actually, it's the first aspect of prevention of infection. And also, social distancing is part of infection prevention, because in case someone is infected and the distance between the people will reduce the rate of infection. Also, in regards to COVID-19, the respiratory hygiene and cough etiquette is also an aspect that we should always take to place, by also wearing our masks, coughing to our elbows, just to prevent infection of the other person, just in case we are infected. In short, there is a connection between infection prevention and COVID-19. And I'm happy to say that it has actually enlightened all of us. And if we can always embrace this and take heed to what we are guided by our Ministry of Health, then we'll be good to go.
We have been speaking about vaccination, and there are joint efforts worldwide to come up with a vaccine against COVID-19. What is the role of vaccination in infection prevention and control?
Vaccination is an aspect of which help us to actually prevent immunizable or vaccinatable diseases, whereby it reduces the effects of disease and complications. In that regard, what I mean is that once a good population, a large population is vaccinated, probably when the vaccine is out, we are able to build herd immunity. Herd immunity actually helps to eradicate, and it has also shown to be very effective in the eradication of smallpox, for instance, that is already eradicated in the world. So basically, vaccination is very paramount in enabling us to have higher immunity by being inoculated with this germ, and our bodies are able to fight it. And once a sufficient large population is vaccinated, then we are able to probably eradicate the disease.
So what role do the public or the masses play in the vaccination?
Well, what I will request or urge each and every one of us is to assess and get vaccinated in whatever angle. Like for the small children, the immunizable diseases are actually, vaccinatable diseases are actually they are preventable. Once we go for the vaccine, then we get herd immunity in the public, then we are able to eradicate and probably not have the disease ever happening again.
All right, we are taking a very short break. We'll be back shortly with more. Stay tuned.
October being a breast cancer awareness month, Misericordiae Hospital is having a free breast examination throughout the month at our main hospital and all our medical centers. Take this opportunity to have your breast examined and learn more about breast cancer, how to do breast self-examination, mammography, breast ultrasound, fine needle aspiration, treatment and side effects, recovery and renewal. Our mammogram, breast ultrasound and pap smear charges have been drastically reduced through this month. Mammogram is at 2,500 Kenya shillings. Breast ultrasound is at 3,000 Kenya shillings. Pap smear is at 1,500 Kenya shillings. The schedule of screening centers will be as follows. Main Hospital, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10 a.m. Buruburu, Monday between 8 and 1 p.m. Development House, Tuesday between 8 and 12 noon. Karen, Monday to Friday between 8 and 12 noon. Westlands, Monday to Friday between 8 and 12 noon. Thika, Monday and Friday between 8 and 10 a.m. Kasarani, Tuesday and Wednesday between 8 and 10:30 a.m. Shujaa, Wednesday and Thursday between 8 and 12 noon. Did you know that women aged 30 years and above are at a higher risk of breast cancer and are encouraged to attend? Please share this information with your colleague, friends and relatives. Mater Hospital Breast Clinic runs every Wednesday between 9 and 11 a.m. Please contact us on 0732 163 132 or 0719 073 132 to book an appointment. Mater Misericordiae Hospital cares. Jumamosi hii tarehe 24 Oktoba, Capuchin TV tutaungana na wanaume wa Katoliki CMA wa Jimbo Katoliki la Nairobi katika uzinduzi rasmi wa chuo cha mafunzo ya kiufundi cha St. Joseph Technical Institute kilichoko eneo la Kamulu katika barabara ya Kangundo, kilomita 3 kutoka Ruai Madukani. Sherehe hii itaanza kwa ibada ya misa takatifu saa 3 asubuhi ikiongozwa na Mwadhama John Kardinali Njue. Njoo tuzindue uwezeshaji wa vijana.
Coronavirus COVID-19 is a respiratory virus spreading across the world. The infection is spread from droplets of coughing and sneezing of an infected person, touching or shaking hands or being in contact with contaminated surfaces or objects with the virus. The signs and symptoms are fever, coughing, headache, body ache, difficulty in breathing. The disease can be prevented by regularly washing hands with soap and running water. Avoid close contact with people who have flu-like symptoms. Avoid handshake, hugs, and kissing. Also, protect yourself by covering your mouth or nose using a disposable tissue while coughing or sneezing. If you experience these symptoms and you had traveled or been in contact with a person from a country reporting COVID-19, you should isolate yourself for 14 days and seek immediate medical attention or report to the nearest health center. This message has been brought to you by the Government of Kenya and its partners. For accurate information on COVID-19, dial *719# or call 719. Follow us on Twitter at MOH_Kenya, at spokesperson GOK, at WHO.
Jumapili hii tarehe 25 Oktoba, Capuchin TV tutaungana na waumini wa St. Joseph and Mary Parish Shauri Moyo na shirika la St. Joseph Missionary Society, ukipenda Mill Hill Missionaries hapa Kenya, kwa sherehe ya ushemasi na upadirisho. Ibada takatifu ya misa itaanza saa 5 asubuhi ikiongozwa na Mhashamu Askofu David Kamau, askofu msaidizi Jimbo Kuu Katoliki la Nairobi. Kongole kwa watawa wote wa Mill Hill Missionaries kutoka hapa Capuchin TV.
Welcome back to our discussion. Today we are discussing infection prevention and control, and this being the second last day of the International Infection Prevention Week, which kicked off on the 18th of October 2020. In studio with me is Miss Purity Runguma from the Infection Control and Prevention Unit at Mater Misericordiae Hospital. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, tell us what antibiotic stewardship means.
Okay, well, antibiotic stewardship is one line of infection prevention and control. It is a branch in which helps us to rationalize use of antibiotics, because it has been realized, and by the year 2030, it is a bit scary that we are going to be into resistance if we continue at the rate we are. So it's just a a branch of infection control that sides to teach us or enlighten us on rational use of antibiotics, in the sense that we are encouraged to avoid over-the-counter prescriptions of antibiotics, and actually encouraged to follow the route of culture and sensitivity in order to be able to know what infection you're suffering from and you get the correct drug for the same.
All right.
So basically it's just a line of infection control, and it's just to align us
to make sure you get the right prescription.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what role does it play in combating resistance?
Well, it plays a large role in combating resistance, because once we teach the public at large that use of antibiotics should be rationalized, it helps in the sense that you're able to take antibiotics when you're required to take. And in this regard, your body system will not be resistant when you require the drug. For instance, you might be so used to picking medication from the pharmacy or chemist, and when you actually have the infection that requires this antibiotic and your body fights it, meaning it has resistance already. So what we would urge the general public is to avoid over-the-counter prescription of antibiotic and follow the correct route.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, there's some people who still believe that infection control and prevention is a responsibility of specific entities. Now, in the wake of COVID-19, we have witnessed now more than ever that infection control and prevention is done at home. So what does it mean, or what do we need to know in as far as infection prevention at home is concerned?
At home, what I would encourage is to continue with proper hand hygiene, use the correct technique, and at the right time. For instance, when you get home, kindly ensure at all times you wash your hands with soap and running water. The other aspect is total hygiene, head to toe hygiene, in order so that you don't carry germs with your clothes or with the rest of the body. So total hygiene is very important. In the aspect of waste management, I would also urge to avoid as much as possible to collect waste. Waste also harbors germs which can cause different diseases to our children. So as much as possible, let us adhere to the 5R principles of waste management, and we will be doing it right. The 5 aspects, maybe I can repeat, is recycling, reusing, repurposing, recycling, reusing, reducing, and refusing. Refusing, we mentioned that we refuse to use polythene bags as the country. So let us always adhere to the measures that we have been encouraged to follow. And the other aspect is to always have masks whenever in public places, and when you have someone who is actually infected with COVID-19 or any other infectious diseases, you follow the guidelines as given by MOH, and we also adhere to what is required of us in the sense that we all wear masks. It reduces the spread of COVID-19 especially, and any other respiratory infections. We can also encourage avoidance of overcrowding, and as we have seen, the surge is going up. As per yesterday, we had incidences of 1,068 cases are confirmed. Kindly, what I would encourage is that we adhere to the guidelines given by the Ministry of Health, which will guide and be able to help us reduce infections and finally fight this disease in totality.
So in line with this year's theme that infection prevention is everybody's business, how does this link up with all these practices that you emphasize and encourage people to practice at home?
Well, as I have been speaking since we started, what infection control encourages all of us since it's everybody's business, infection prevention aims to safeguard and protect all of us. So it is basically the responsibility of each and every one of us to take care of the vulnerable, the ones in the society who are not able to take care of themselves, like the very young children and the elderly. So it is upon us to be able to curb these infections so that we are able to prevent the spread to this vulnerable in the society. And since it's the responsibility of each and every one of us, then we will see to it that we have been able to fight infections and be able to emerge victorious, and especially in this wake of COVID-19.
Speaking of the vulnerable in the society, just after the pandemic broke out, we had people with hearing problems, people who cannot see. They were complaining that the messages were not, they were left out. They cannot interpret that, because if you have the images of how someone is supposed to wash their hands, so this someone who cannot see, as a team, are there any strategies or messages that you have crafted to ensure that you cover all the people with the vulnerable ones, the people with disabilities?
Yes, we actually go out of our way to be able to reach out to the ones who cannot see. We have we do recordings to be able to probably send the message of what exactly is required of each and every one of us. For instance, if someone is blind, we have an audio version of enlightening to the public, and to also teach them in what is required of them in order to be able to curb this infection. For the ones who cannot hear, we have the posters all over the place, and which has very clear writing to be able to pass the message. And well, as we continue, as we are all learning, this is a new disease, so we are in continuous learning, and we are able to embrace the new development that will help us actually help the rest of the community.
Thank you very much. So, as an expert in this field with more than 14 years experience, what can you say is the possible future when everyone in the community embraces this theme and understands and actually practices or lives by this theme, that actually infection prevention and control is not an individual or a specific entity role, but rather a collective responsibility of everyone?
Okay, well, when it goes like that, I think it will be every infection prevention, it will be up and smiling, because it will be a light at the end of the tunnel, because that is what we are looking up to. And we are hoping and praying that all goes well. And in this regard, as we continue to sensitize the entire public, we will be in a better place as a better society.
Okay. We are about to wind up, but before we do that, I'll give my guest a minute or two to give us a parting shot.
Well, I'm from Mater Hospital. We have a new running clinic at our Well Mall, which is opposite Catholic University. It is up and running, and we are encouraging or telling you to be able to know that our facility is near you. We have come close to you. Welcome. And also, as I part, I would thank you so much, Capuchin TV, for having been able to air this and to having been a partner to be able to enlighten the rest of the society that infection control is key. Thank you so much.
All right, that's the end of our live discussion today. In studio, I had Miss Purity Runguma, from the coordinator of infection prevention and control at Mater Misericordiae Hospital. Thank you very much, dear viewer, for joining us for this live show. Now, I wish you a great weekend, and even as you enjoy the weekend, ensure that you contribute towards breaking the chain of the spread of infection. I'm Sasha Elizabeth, and until next time, goodbye.
October being a Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Misericordiae Hospital is having a free breast examination throughout the month at our main hospital and all our medical centers. Take this opportunity to have your breast examined and learn more about breast cancer, how to do breast self-examination, mammography, breast ultrasound, fine needle aspiration, treatment and side effects, recovery and renewal. Our mammogram, breast ultrasound and pap smear charges have been drastically reduced through this month. Mammogram is at 2,500 Kenya shillings. Breast ultrasound is at 3,000 Kenya shillings. Pap smear is at 1,500 Kenya shillings. The schedule of screening centers will be as follows. Main Hospital, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10 a.m. Buruburu, Monday between 8 and 1 p.m. Development House, Tuesday between 8 and 12 noon. Karen, Monday to Friday between 8 and 12 noon. Westlands, Monday to Friday between 8 and 12 noon. Thika, Monday and Friday between 8 and 10 a.m. Kasarani, Tuesday and Wednesday between 8 and 10:30 a.m. Shujaa, Wednesday and Thursday between 8 and 12 noon. Did you know that women aged 30 years and above are at a higher risk of breast cancer and are encouraged to attend? Please share this information with your colleague, friends and relatives. Mater Hospital Breast Clinic runs every Wednesday between 9 and 11 a.m. Please contact us on 0732 163 132 or 0719 073 132 to book an appointment. Mater Misericordiae Hospital cares. Jumamosi hii tarehe 24 Oktoba, Capuchin TV tutaungana na wanaume wa Katoliki CMA wa Jimbo Katoliki la Nairobi katika uzinduzi rasmi wa chuo cha mafunzo ya kiufundi cha St. Joseph Technical Institute kilichoko eneo la Kamulu katika barabara ya Kangundo, kilomita 3 kutoka Ruai Madukani. Sherehe hii itaanza kwa ibada ya misa takatifu saa 3 asubuhi ikiongozwa na Mwadhama John Cardinal Njue. Njoo tuzindue uwezeshaji wa vijana. Sakramenti ni nini? Na misingi yake iko wapi katika Biblia takatifu? Wavijua vipindi vya kanisa Katoliki? Ni alama na vyombo gani vinavyotumika katika maadhimisho ya ibada zetu? Ungana nasi kila siku ya Jumanne saa 1:30 jioni katika kipindi cha Sakramenti na Biblia. Ni kutoka hapa Capuchin TV, tukiikuza imani Katoliki kwa pamoja. Jumapili hii tarehe 25 Oktoba, Capuchin TV tutaungana na waumini wa St. Joseph and Mary Parish Shauri Moyo na shirika la St. Joseph Missionary Society, ukipenda Mill Hill Missionaries hapa Kenya, kwa sherehe ya ushemasi na upadirisho. Ibada takatifu ya misa itaanza saa 5 asubuhi ikiongozwa na Mhashamu Askofu David Kamau, askofu msaidizi Jimbo Kuu Katoliki la Nairobi. Kongole kwa watawa wote wa Mill Hill Missionaries kutoka hapa Capuchin TV.
Kitubio au upatanisho. Sakramenti ya kitubio ndiyo sakramenti ya kuondolea watu dhambi walizotenda baada ya ubatizo. Sakramenti ya kitubio pia huitwa sakramenti ya upatanisho, ipo katika fungu la sakramenti za uponyaji. Kuna sakramenti mbili za uponyaji, kitubio na mpako mtakatifu wa wagonjwa. Dhumuni haswa la sakramenti ya uponyaji ni kuzirejeshea uhai roho zetu pale zinapougua kwa kutenda dhambi. Yesu ndiye tabibu mkuu wa roho zetu, naye yu tayari kututibu kila tunapougua.
Kupata kitubio kama Skiza Tune yako, tuma neno Skiza likifuatwa na nambari 73810 273 kwa 811.